Hello, I'm back. Penny here with an unboxing. This time of another freaking Rolex. Guys, this is crazy time. We just bought a Rolex Datejust 41 for Empress. Say hello.
Hello.
Not for me. I'm not buying any more watches for myself. The shop is closed. And actually, this shall be our last watch purchase. You heard it here. This shall be our last watch purchase of 2021. And maybe for most of 2022 even. Because this is a pretty substantial piece, guys. But Empress has recently picked up this red Tudor 41. And so we'll talk about that in a separate video. But today, the star of the show is this beautiful Datejust 41 millimeter blue dial. Can you see that it's blue on the YouTube?
Can you see this blue? And can you see that beautiful fluted bezel? Like, really?
Yeah. And guys, this still has stickers. So we're going to tell you about the story of this watch. It has all the stickers still on it. And how we got it at retail and, you know, what the deal is. This model number, for those of you who want to know, is the 126334. So it is the 41. It doesn't actually look that big. I was skeptical, guys, about getting the 41. I feel like the classic Datejust size is 36. And I was wouldn't you say I was pretty...
You were anti-41.
I was pretty much trying to convince.
I was like, no, I want 41.
Yeah.
No, I want a 41. No, I want a 41 blue fluted bezel. This
Guys,
is what I want.
She picked the hardest watch, the hardest Datejust to get, period. Because, okay, listen, let's talk about how we got this watch. So we have been saying for a while we were going to get Empress a Datejust, either from AD number 1, who's my guy. It would make the most sense to get it from him, or from AD number 2, who we're trying to build a payment history with. And so, I don't know how we ended up getting it. Okay, the way we ended up getting it from AD number 2 is that I wanted to go get Empress this Tudor. So we went to go look at Tudors a month ago. Sorry, my phone, all these little apps are notifying me. So we went to go look at Tudor a month ago in early June and ended up just buying right out of the case the 41. Now, we'd already purchased the Milgauss from the same AD, so we do have a shopping history. But in the process of getting the Tudor, you know, your girl likes to talk, and we're chatting it up, and I'm like, let's see what Datejust they have. Of course, they had 0 stock in. I mean, they had like a small 2-tone and, you know, maybe it was a 2-tone 41. I mean, they just had like 2 Datejusts literally in the case at the time when we were there. And so I tell the guy, you know, we want to see the size compare. We want to compare the 36 to the 41. So we were able to do that. They did have a 36 and a 41 2-tone. And Empress was like, I really like the 41, you know.
41.
She likes to be able to see the dial a bit better. We got middle-aged people eyes, and she was like, I like the 41. And I'm like, well, don't you want a 36? The 36 is A, cheaper. B, it's a classic Datejust size.
It's a classic size. No.
I kept saying this. And I was like, and also, why don't you get a white one? Because you don't have any white watches, and white is easier to get. So anyway, she did not take any of my advice.
Penny had all the reasons why I should not have gone with this size, this color.
This configuration with the fluted and the Jubilee, all of it.
She had all of the reasons.
But between her and the sales guy, somehow they decided that no, the right size was 41 for her, and she insisted on the blue dial.
I think even the sales guy was like, well, you know, yeah, I could probably get the 36 a lot quicker. And I was like, no.
You wanted the 4, yeah. So anyhow, we set it out as a goal. I said in a few months, 3 to 4 months, we would love to get a Datejust for Empress's birthday. So, you know, that was the conversation. You should go back and listen to the Watchdog podcast with Clayton. The Rolex and Rats episodes, part 1 and 2, mostly part 1 is where I talk about this visit to the AD and how it actually frustrated me that he was very non-committal about getting the 41 blue dial in time for Empress's birthday, which again is still 3 months away. Like, it's not now. I didn't want it now. I wanted it then. But he would not promise us that he could get it. He said, I'll do my best. Ladies, I'll write it down. I'll do my best. And I was irritated by that. If you go back and listen to that episode with Clayton, I said, listen, it's a damn Datejust. You should be able to get a Datejust all day because they're available pre-owned and it's just not that serious. And so I was ready to just buy a pre-owned 36 blue dial for like $6,000. You can find those, older one, but a good condition one, and call it a day. And it just didn't sit well with me that they couldn't just outright say, we got you, Penny, we'll get you this watch. So I had already in my heart moved on from this 41 Datejust. I was like, whatever. They've concocted this idea that a blue 41 on a Jubilee fluted is gonna come in at some time, and I'm moving on and thinking of other watches that we might get for her birthday when it actually happens. So exactly a month later, because that was June, it's now July of 2021, exactly a month later, I get a text from the sales associate holding the watch in his hand saying, you know what, Empress's birthday present is here early. Okay, guys. You've heard me talk about passing up on watches before. I've done it. I get the call. I've gotten the call. Even recently, our other AD offered us a bluesy and a root beer and a bluesy. Yep. We do want a bluesy and kind of a root beer, but I passed on it because I was just like, oh my God, it's just not the right time to keep buying these watches. And I don't know. I regret it instantly. And I made a video about it, but I took it down because I didn't want it to seem like we were, bragging about passing on watches. But I was also just ambivalent. Why did I pass on the bluesy? Anyway, you've heard me pass on watches before. When I got the text for this early and also after I had kind of moved on, I was like, dude, we don't want this. However, it's not for me. This is marriage advice now, guys. This is relationship advice. I had to sit with it and say, it's not for you. This is the watch that Empress has wanted, the configuration she has said that she likes. It's exactly what she wants. And I'm the one that has some heavy hitter watches that I usually just pull the trigger on. So, all said, and Empress never wants to spend money on herself, guys. Like, I'm the one who's like, hey, let's buy this. She never wants to do it. So I felt like it was the right thing and the right call. I got a birthday watch, not this one, but, I got the Milgauss as my birthday watch this year. And I was like, we should do this. This is doable. It is fine. And it's exactly what she wanted. So that's how we ended up getting this watch. And we did say yes, of course, and we picked it up yesterday. Now, the buying experience was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was beautiful. Our sales associate is very attentive.
Very cool guy.
He's very sweet. He remembers things, even though he says he has a bad memory. He remembers like the smallest details of our conversations. And he just, he was very happy. He gave us hugs. He was happy that we were able to get this, and he was able to get it for us.
Yeah.
I also, he's an associate. He doesn't own the business, so he has to follow whatever rules his bosses put in play for him. Right. And so I just figured the bosses probably had other people that they would like to have certain watches first.
Yeah.
So the idea that he was able to call us with this one, I was very happy, as long as we were able to afford it and not fully break the bank. Right.
And we can. It's doable. But I mean, the thing is like, I just can't get past the fact that a Datejust 41 blue dial is basically an allocation piece. Because you used to be able to just order them and they would say, we don't have it, but we'll put it on order. Oyster Perpetuals, Datejust of any configuration, they could just order from Rolex. Now with these stainless steel watches, even the Datejust, they don't know exactly when they're going to get them. But I guess my lesson in this is they do get them. They will get them, of course, in 2 weeks to a month or something like that. They will get them. The question is will they sell it to you? And, he didn't feel like he could promise us that, but he did come through. And he's a great guy, and we like him a lot. So, we're building that history with this other AD just in case. Because, Rolex's market is so fickle, and, it doesn't seem like a bad idea to have two ADs that you can work with. So it's the stickers are still on. So we bought the watch and we ran in at lunchtime because Empress has had to be back at work on a call. And we were just kind of rushing the whole process. But we realized, well, he actually called us because we didn't realize it. When she put the watch on, she got it sized. We actually need to go back today because it's not sized enough. Like, it's still too loose for her. But he called us on the way home and was like, oh, I forgot to take the stickers off. And I didn't notice it, and she didn't notice it. Did you notice it?
No, I noticed it.
Oh.
I just didn't say anything.
Yeah, and I guess it's a pretty big deal. Like, they're not supposed to sell it. You know, they're supposed to take the stickers off. We got the screen protector or the bezel protector, the tags. You know, we got some good stuff with it. But he was supposed to take stickers off. So we basically have a stickered. It's fully stickered, too. A stickered blue dial stainless steel. Even the back of it has you see the little green tab?
The green tab.
I guess it's not a fully green sticker anymore, but it still has a little hint of that with the green. And then there's just stickers everywhere. Like, I can't believe he missed it. We missed it. But then he remembered and he called us and was like, do you want to come back? But we had to get home for being on a work call. Yeah. So we're going to go back today, let him take the stickers off. We can obviously take them off, but we figured let's finish the process, get the stickers off and get it properly sized because it's still a little bit too loose. Even with the summer heat and humidity, like, this is a little bit too loose for us, for either of us, for her especially. But like, yeah, it slides around. We don't like that. So we're going to get this more snug. And then it's a good fit. So the question, like, do I have regrets? Do I have regrets about you getting the 41? No, not at all. I think that the size of the 41, if you can wear a 36, you can probably also wear the 41. It is a flashy freaking watch. Like,
it's not a flashy freaking watch. It's a beautiful, simple, elegant,
so shiny.
And this
flashy.
So what you need to understand is that this is
not flashy.
This is such a low profile though, because like it almost like wants to melt into your skin. How low profile it is.
Right. It's very low profile. It's beautiful. I mean, I'm kind of smitten. I mean, I have that new watch, even though it's not for me, that new watch glow, or, you know.
Yeah, you're like...
It's like Christmas. You wake up and you're like, oh my God, we got a new watch. Let me play with it.
I got woken up. And I could tell you were like, I was like, what is she doing? And she's like rummaging around above my head.
I was like, I got to get the watch. Okay, so...
It's like hunting.
Yeah.
Where is it?
So it is a bigger, watch than a 36, but in the grand scheme of things, it's so much smaller than, even the Submariner 41. These are the same size dials, but the Submariner is just beefier and thicker compared to this very sleek and curvaceous side. That's the other thing is the case really curves well.
It curves well. It goes so beautifully with that Jubilee bracelet. It is just amazing.
Yeah.
It is just a beautiful piece. And I'm happy that I got the blue dial. I don't like white dials. I think your pieces that are white dials are very nice. But I love the blue dial. I love how it just dances. The light dances off of it.
Yeah. And this is compared to the Tudor side view.
Yeah,
this looks like a 36 millimeter watch compared to this Tudor. You're like, what's that? This could be a 34 millimeter for all we know compared to the Tudor. It's so beefy.
Well, and when I picked it up, I was just, because I had been wearing the Tudor, I was just like, oh my goodness, it is so light.
Yeah, it's so lightweight compared to the other ones.
Yeah, I had been wearing the Tudor, which, it's thick, but I was just like, oh my goodness, it's just so light in comparison to what I've been wearing.
Yep. It's perfect. So honestly, guys, it has me thinking about, is this the perfect Rolex? Like, we have other Rolexes. If you were doing a one and done Rolex or even just a top 3, I feel like this has to be in there, right?
It has to be in your top 3, definitely.
Because even with this configuration being, I think, dressier, flashier, you can still wear this. I'm wearing a t-shirt and khakis today. It looks great with that. You could wear it low key. You could wear it with a suit. You could wear this in a lot of circumstances. I don't know about a black tie, like formal, if you're going to the opera, the symphony, or something like that, if I would wear this or if you would wear this. However, you could wear this in probably 90% of other circumstances.
Well, I think you could, I bet you if you're a person that likes to take your bracelets off, you could put a really nice leather strap on it.
Good point, like an alligator strap or something like that. Yeah. And then
I don't like straps, so I prefer my bracelet. So
right.
I would. But I think if you wanted to make it more of that black tie event, you could just put a beautiful alligator strap on it and rock it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the light, let the light catch the blue dial. The sunburst blue dial is just outstanding with the white gold surrounds, this white gold fluted bezel, and then the stainless steel. And it kind of got me interested. I was reading this morning about the history of the Datejust and how the first Datejust was actually yellow gold. It was a yellow gold case, white dial. And so, I see the two-tone, why so many two-tone Datejusts are what they are. That's really close to the heritage of the Datejust. But with this being a white gold bezel, you still get to maintain some of that history, with having the fluted white gold on there. You get a little bit of that history, even though it doesn't have the look. Yep. But I'm smitten. I mean, I feel like this watch with its low profile, the way it sits on the wrist, is just phenomenal. And I'm like, wow, why didn't we get Datejust before now? Because I'm strung out on the sports watches, but I'm kind of like, I kind of want a Datejust now. Although you have one, I was thinking, hey, what about a Wimbledon 36 to add some variety to the collection or to the Datejust side of things? But I'm done, guys. I'm not buying a Datejust. However, it's a very, very likable, lovable watch and size. And it is an allocation piece to some extent. My thing is that even if they tell you it's going to be a long wait, they do get these watches in. But you do have to kind of play the game to get even a Datejust 41, a blue dial. You might be able to get some of the other ones fairly quick and more easily without playing the game. But the blue 41s, right now we're seeing that they're probably 12 to 13,000 new. And with stickers, I think that's even more, a little bit more. Whereas out the door, it was around 10 something, 10, 5, 10, 6 or whatever with taxes. So there's still a markup, on the market for this. Is this a first, do you think this could be if you had to buy your first Rolex and you wanted to get into buying Rolexes, would you say people should try to go for a Datejust 41?
I would say I love my Oyster Perpetual. But I think if you're looking for something that can be even more versatile, I would go with the Datejust 41. Yeah,
because I think the Oyster Perpetuals, being that they come on the smooth bezel, smooth oyster bracelet, it can't go upscale quite as much as something like this could be a lot more dressy. Yeah. And I think if you're trying to get in with an AD, I always recommend starting with the Datejust, but now I'm not so sure. I think you could start with a Milgauss or an Air King.
I would say start with what they say they can get.
Whatever they say
they tell you they can get you.
I know.
Start with that.
Which a lot of people have a hard time with, because it's like, I'm spending thousands of dollars. Why do I have to start with what they want me to have? But that's just the way it is,
but
folks.
That's building a rapport and a relationship.
And hopefully you'll still like it. If they say, hey, I can get you, and they might not come right out and say it, but if they're seeming receptive to you getting a 36 millimeter Datejust, get the 36 millimeter Datejust. Get a white, get a silver, get one of those classic timeless pieces. You're not going to regret having that, even if what you really want is a sub. Have that and get a sub a few years later or 6 months later when they actually sell you one. So I think a Datejust can still be the entry point watch. However, you might have to play the game of visiting a couple times, talking to them about it. But I honestly think this is so much this is a more mature piece than any of my Rolexes, really, because it just feels like so damn grown up. It's like it's sexy, it sparkles, it's just elegant in a way that the sports watches are not meant to be. And to me, it's the real deal, so we really are going to enjoy it. You're probably going to wear it for quite a stretch of time. Yep. But I think that, if this is and a lot of people do like this as their top choice Datejust or top choice Rolex. Even in the hand compared to the other watches, it feels small. Like we kept thinking,
it just feels really light.
Yeah, we kept thinking, is this the 36? But it's not. It's the 41. It's the same size dial as any of the other 41s or 40 millimeter watches. Even with the sub, you can see if you're looking at dial only, it's right there. The bezel sticker on the sub, the case is a little bit fatter. But yeah. So anyhow, guys, we bought another Rolex. We're not buying anymore. You heard it here first. We're going to go get this sized and get the stickers off and enjoy. Penny. I'm talking about myself in third person now. Empress is going to enjoy the watch going forward. See, it's super loose. So we were in a rush and didn't really spend time with it, getting it properly sized. We got one link out, but it definitely maybe needs, I would say, even 2 links out. You probably like it better.
I think 2 links. I think because we were in a rush and they're just, the people in the back are, I don't want to bother them too much.
All right, I'm like really particular and have been like, oh, it's not right. But we really had like a short window of time to get on it because you had to get on the Zoom call and it was like pouring rain because of Elsa. The storm was here, and it was just like, now we had to get in and out. Why didn't we try to come on Saturday? I think I didn't want to have them hold it too long. Like, he texted me on a Wednesday, and ideally I would have gone on Thursday, but the both of us couldn't go until Friday. So I was just like, let's run in on Friday. Yep. And now we're going back. It's Saturday. We're going back to get it, let him take the stickers off. We don't want him to get in trouble for leaving the stickers on. And and at the same time, it needs to fit so that it hugs the wrist the way it's supposed to. But anyway, guys, that's how we got the Datejust 41. Amazing watch. Like, it feels so adult to me compared to our tool watches. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but if that's the watch that you want, go for it. You can get it from the AD.